The man of the match and the goal scorer. Fabian, that was a precious win, precious 3 points, but a real sense of joy and a relief all around the stadium.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, coming off the back of the last game, there was a lot of disappointment. Heads were down, as you can expect, but it's part of football, winning and losing. We needed to regroup. We did that. Came into the game with a good game plan, and we had to stick together out there. There were times that it was tough, but we stuck together, and finally we got 3 points.
Anthony, could you feel that desire from the stands, the energy that they were playing every pass, every tackle?
Yeah, you can see by the results we get here. Every time we play here, we usually get a result or a clean sheet. So, we definitely feed off them, and we're definitely a better team with them.
A few nervy moments towards the end. Pickford save from Ronaldo.
Yeah, it's tough. The top team. We got some top players up the front end of the pitch, so we've done really well to keep a clean sheet.
Maybe early chances to United. If you had to hold on there, didn't you? Because you do want to give them the advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we expected them to have chances. They're a top team with top players, like Andrew said. So it was about sticking together, riding the storm, and we managed to do that. And today we've managed to come away with 3 points. And honestly, it's a massive relief for the fans, for the players, management team, and everybody associated with Everton.
And the goal was a reward for a bit of endeavour, because you hadn't got into the box too much, and then suddenly you got a chance.
Yeah, the gaffer always says you make your own luck.
Yes.
By working hard and stuff and winning the ball back. So I think we started the game well with a high press and stuff and put them on the back foot. So I made my own luck with a bit of hard work. I'll take them all day.
What was the message at half time then?
Just to stay in the game. We felt fine. We felt compact. We knew that there was going to dominate the ball, so it was about staying compact, communicating, and just riding that wave really.
I can see everyone struggling a little bit. There'll be a few ice baths tonight, will there?
Yeah, definitely. I can only speak for myself, but I'm really sore. I've got a few kicks.
And you haven't been out there since December,
and before that's probably December before that as well. So yeah, it was good for me to get out there. I'm always wanting to help the lads, and I felt I did that today. But yeah, I don't think I'll train for a week.
It's a fantastic result today, but now you've got to fight on, haven't you?
Massive fight, and it's one game at a time, honestly. I mean, we're not going to get carried away. Just like the last game we was down, but we picked ourselves up and went again. The next game is just going to be about putting points on the table, and that's our main focus, get points on the table and stay up.
Excellent stuff. Thanks, gents.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well played, those two. I think it's worth reminding ourselves, right, this is their third game in a week. They'd lost the previous two. They would have come into this thinking, all right, here we go again. Now we've got Man United at home. To put in that performance with that heart and desire after those previous 6 days tells us an awful lot about the group, actually, mentally.
100%. But that's where the fans come into play. They would have hoped the fans got behind them. They did that, and obviously the momentum of tackles and challenges that we've seen changes things here. And as I said, they got the outcome was they got 3 points, but a solid performance from everyone involved.
I think Frank and his coaching staff and the fans would have been questioning characters. Forget ability at this stage of the season. When you're fighting for your life down there, it's about character and personality. And I think you'd have had question marks going into this game. These made of the right stuff, these certain individuals, and today I think you got a very positive answer. 3 points, but the fight and the grit they put in to get to that.
Let's have a look at some of it then.
Yeah, I said momentum changed after probably the second save from Pickford. Every man did his job defensively and started off with Pickford some great saves, and it led and bred into the back four. Both centre halves and full-backs I thought were outstanding throughout the game. And this is what you need after the back of a disappointing result, but also some bad mistakes that have cost goals. They showed great understanding of where to be, where to position your body, and getting good contact on the ball, which is crucial. You can put yourself in good positions as a defender, but if you don't get a good contact on the ball, show commitment, you concede.
I think being in this position, sometimes you can panic, especially defensively when balls are being thrown in the box and flashed around. You can show. I thought they were quite composed for a team in the position they are, and the results they've had recently, which is a huge thing. Here was probably the one where you thought, oh, this is a chance, but there was a composure to the way they defended that that was very kind of different to what we've maybe seen in recent games?
Because if there's not, it breeds confidence to the opposition. If they know you're going to slash your balls and make mistakes, then you get pressed a lot more. But as what we have said, they show composure in clearances, so all of a sudden it just breeds confidence throughout the team.
And the stats that is interesting is that Everton ran 10 kilometres more than Man United. Now, I know that you look at that and think, yeah, but they didn't have as much of the ball, so they were chasing the ball a lot, so it's not always a good thing. But they still had to put the effort in. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's the key, is that the effort is there. If they're doing that and it doesn't prevail, obviously the result's negative, then it's irrelevant. But the fact that they've all done that, I don't think anyone will come off that pitch looking forward to, needing a recovery tomorrow. So the fact that they've all done that shows very much commitment.
Can Frank inspire them? Is Frank the man for a relegation battle? Has he taken a job he shouldn't have taken? Should they bring in a firefighter like Sam Allardyce and just survive? Does that answer all of those questions for you?
To a certain extent, but there's still more games. I think that's just one. He's ticked one off. He's ticked one off now, and he's just got to continue that now. He's got to use the fact they run 10 kilometres more than the opposition today. Use the fact that there was a determination and a togetherness today to get the 3 points to gain and build momentum.
And also, this is actually a result that sucks Leeds back into the picture here, doesn't it? And that is a significant element to this result.
Yeah, that was the thing that was obvious to me, is that I thought it was between Burnley and Everton, but after this result now, yes, Brentford, Leeds will be looking down thinking we're not out of it, we need to continue and get results. But this is huge for Everton, huge. This wasn't a game they probably predicted in winning in regards to this week's fixtures, so it's a massive result.
And when you come to a club like this, there is a significance that the winner in a game of this importance came from a local lad.
Oh, huge for him. Having worked with him, knowing how much this club means to him, and the commitment he showed throughout his performances in recent weeks. The only slight question would be, can he contribute more goals to the team? And he's done that. He's won the ball back. He's continued his running. Like he said in his interview, he's got his own bit of luck by taking a shot that probably De Gea is going to save. But the fact that he stroked it outside the box meant it's deflected away from the keeper and gone in.
They've got to use this now, though. They can't have this result and then take a step back again in the next game. The intensity, the concentration, the desire's got to be the same. The commitment's got to be the same. Taking care of the little details within the game as well. Being that unit and that team that's hard to play against. When you're down there, that's what you've got to be. You've got to be able to get your goals, but you've got to be a real resolute team. Today they showed real good positive signs in that, but it's got to be something that starts and builds momentum for them.
What does Frank say to them now, though, for them to enjoy this result and let them know how important it is, but to remind them that if Burnley win, then it's only a single point, and basically they've got to go and do that again, and then again, and then again.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll be worried too much on Burnley's result now, because they've done their job. The pressure is on Burnley to go and beat Norwich, who are still fighting it for themselves. So I think Frank will look at this result and take the positives, but also critique the details that we are saying about if we don't continue to do these things, we will get punished in the future.
Also, Frank hasn't got to say too much in terms of, do you know what, boys? Take that feeling in that you got when that whistle went at 90 minutes. That feeling, we saw it, about half of the team, if not more, went on their knees in terms of the relief. That feeling there is enough to get you going again. You could play tomorrow on the strength of that feeling.
Nice. What about the opposing feeling in the Manchester United dressing room? We're going to hear right now from Ralf Rangnick, who's emerged to speak to Des.
Ralf, that must feel like a very disappointing defeat. How did you see that?
Yes, of course. I mean, if you don't score a single goal in 95 minutes, we have to be disappointed. I think we had a good start into the game, had control over the game in the first 25 minutes. Should have created more opportunities, more chances ourselves out of that domination in the first 25 minutes. And then we conceded a deflected shot, a goal after a deflected shot, and after that lost a little bit of our composure and our stride. Second half, we were trying to add more creativity and more verticality with our substitutions, but didn't always find and choose the right moment or didn't take the right decision, and in the end, couldn't score a single goal in 95 minutes, as I said.
Yeah, and their goal, of course, changed the dynamic inside the stadium as well. They got a real groundswell from the Goodison Park crowd.
Yeah, but that was clear that happened. Therefore, it would have been important to score the first goal ourselves, and this should have happened in the first half hour. And if not, it doesn't make life any easier for us.
You were searching for a way through. Is that why Juan Mata came on? That's his first Premier League appearance this season.
Yes, as I said, I mean, we had to do something because we needed a goal, and I decided to bring with him more creativity in midfield and more verticality with Anthony Elanga. But obviously, they were defending with all their field players in the last 35, 40 minutes, and we didn't find we didn't find the right player at the right moment, and had enough, not always enough players in the box when we played our crosses into the box.
And just around the club at the moment, everyone's waiting for big decisions to come. Is there any sense that you feel that you're in limbo at the moment? Is there distractions going on?
No, I don't think that this should be an excuse to nobody. I mean, we're Manchester United, all the players. We have a lot of international players. This cannot be an alibi or an excuse to nobody. We shouldn't be distracted by that. I mean, there will be a new manager next season. And if this is being announced now or in 10 or in 14 or in 20 days, should have no effect to a game like this one today.
You talked about getting vital 3 points today and for the rest of the season. Is the top four gone now?
We've spoken about that quite a few times. I mean, we are dependent on the other results, but as long as we don't win our own games, we will never have good results from the other teams. So the only thing that we can do is stick together. Now we have Fred injured on top of Scott McTominay. That means both defensive sixes might be injured, hopefully not for too long. And that's all we can do, and then prepare for the Norwich game.
Thank you very much, Ralf.
Thank you.
Well, he said some great things, but clearly points to the fact that I won't be the manager next season. And it's a reminder that if a club the size of Manchester United runs itself in a way that it allows itself to slip into this interim manager situation during a season, this is the kind of impact that it can have on a club and on the players and on your results and on your immediate future.
Yeah, listen, uncertainty isn't great at any level of a football club. The size of the club of Man United, the stature, you would expect it to be a lot more in terms of organised and have a manager in there. Interim manager won't be part of the script, but we are where we are. And you have to deal with that. And Man United have to go on and have to get results. And the players have to disassociate themselves with what goes on off the pitch. We played. What goes on off the pitch, you don't really care. There was noise around the Glazers when I was there. That is a side issue. That's a sideshow. You don't get yourself involved in that.
But they do, though. You said in the build-up when we were watching Marcus Rashford on the pitch, you said he'll be wondering who the manager is with his new deal and all this.
Yeah, but I was saying you've got to get your head away from that. And then I think Marcus, in time, will learn, and the experience will be able to do that. But what I'm saying is that as the players and the experienced players have to kind of lead this, is that you can't. There's no, like the manager said, he's right. There's no excuses. There's not, but there's no manager, or we don't know where we're going. We've got things to do. We've got a Champions League position and place that's up for grabs ahead of us.
And yeah, he did say that, and it sounds great. I still feel he needs to take some responsibility more than he's letting on, because when I'm watching United, I don't recognise how they want to score, how they're trying to play. Even defensively, it doesn't look like anything is by design. It looks like let's get players out there and hopefully, like he said in his interview, someone will make a difference. That can't be a thing again.
Maybe that's the level they're at. Maybe that's how good the players are.
Well, that's why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's not here anymore. I mean, people are saying, there's no playing style, there's no philosophy, there's no identity. And today, when you look at the way they attack, there isn't something where you go, that is the way they play. I wouldn't be able to tell you that's how Man United play today. There's a structure, there's a way of playing that you see with the top teams. It just isn't there at the moment. So they look a bit lost, I've got to be honest.
Yeah. Well, they're 7th in the table at the moment, and it doesn't feel like a false position, does it? Let's get positive, though, because just joining Des Kelly right now is Frank Lampard. Des, the floor is yours, and I'm sure you've got a happy man in front of you.
Yes, a very happy manager. A vital win, and you must be proud of that performance, Frank.
Very proud. Pressure times, where we are, reality of the situation. At Goodison, we've been good. I think that's our 5th win in 7, and good clean sheets. We're getting clean sheets at home. So away from home's a different aspect, but at the same time, when we come together, like I said before the game, with fans and players alike, then we're hard to beat here. And it always starts with our physical output and our contact and our fighting spirit, because that's what fans demand here. Rightly so. When you give them that, you give yourself a chance, and we did that from minute 1 till minute 95, and then you make your own luck, or whatever you want to call it. When it's not luck, Jordan makes a great save, but things like that have been going against us. We get a deflection goal. I scored loads in my career, but we haven't been getting them here recently. So you fight for that.
And the will and desire from the crowd feeds to the players feed it back. There's a little circle going there.
Yeah, but it does start with us, and the crowd were great straight away. But they could easily switch off a bit or get tetchy if they see people not working. And you know what? When you're not playing at your best, the reality of football is, we've all been there as people involved in the game, that you have to fight through it. And you might give a ball away. It might look like you're not at it for a second. The only way to get it back round is to fly in and make a tackle, like in the build up to the goal. But as soon as the goal goes in, my thought goes straight to a Dominic tackle in midfield, or Delph or Alan, whoever it was. Those sort of moments for me in the position we're in. Beautiful football can come later on. I've got ambitions at this club to stay up, move on, play well, change some things. But in the position we're in, fighting comes first and foremost.
Absolutely, we saw that. And Anthony Gordon's one of the happy stories of the season for Everton, isn't he?
Yeah, because he's a top young player with a great attitude, a great hunger. He loves the club. He loves coming to training every day. He loves the idea of scoring goals and making assists, and he's on himself that if he doesn't do that, he wants more, which is brilliant to see in a young player. It's a difference. It's a difference to the great batch of young players that we have in this country, of Mason Mount. I work with him. You look at Foden from outside, they have this extra attitude that makes them what they are, and he's one of those.
And you had the experience alongside, and Fabian Delph's influence was obvious today.
Yeah, and we've missed him. It's something that goes unnoticed, and every club and every manager will bemoan it. We've got injuries, we've got problems and these things, but with the attributes and balance of our squad, if we have one or two defensive midfield players out for whatever reason, it's tough for us because we don't have them there, and you can take for granted when you have that. So Delphi gave us a sense of calm, a positional behaviours in terms of a centre back gets dragged out, he's dropped straight into the back four, things that he does naturally, and he was great today, and he can get his well-deserved rest. I saw his interview there. He can get his rest for a few days.
Richarlison, keepy uppies as well. You don't often see that in the relegation.
No. I was ready to go all old school on him and tell him off for that, but I'm not going to, because he runs as he does here. The fans love him because he gives everything. He runs 5 little keepy uppy headers. Not for me if he gives it away after that, but he had a good day.
Everyone rolled their sleeves up now. So Leicester, Liverpool, Chelsea, still plenty to do.
There's loads to do. It's one win, and we should have got a result in the week, and we sit there and say, oh, if only, because we should have got a result in performance levels, and we didn't. And that's the reality when things go against you. You have to keep going. It's not easy when you wake up the next morning after Burnley, and my job first and foremost is to lift everyone, be positive with everyone, try and go again. But they were a good lad, they were a good bunch in that dressing room. Seeing them feeling the way they talk after, and what they want. Some people question that about these players here. But come and watch us play today, and bodies on the line. Damari Gray making blocks in front of Jordan at the end. They were a good bunch, but yes, one win. Got a lot to do.
Well done, Frank.
Thanks, Des. Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, well done indeed. And that is the point. That needs to be the message. One win, nothing more than that.
Yeah, and Frank doesn't seem like he's getting carried away with the situation. Yes, he enjoyed today and realised this was a massive performance, but in overall grand scheme of things, there's still a lot more to do. So